I think the real question is like, I mean, they're the wild, they're the wildlings, and we obviously got the North right there.
What?
The North, you know, Game of Thrones.
Yes.
You're the Starks.
Yeah, and it's like
He has a son, so he can't really be part of the Black Watch.
I guess
The Night Watch.
I mean,
Yeah,
we've
but-
got House Castamere right there.
Does that make you a Lannister?
I think so.
Or a Frey?
From the Mamelukes. Mamelukes has been saying that he's been doing a bit of sieging. I haven't seen it. Yeah, he managed to get all the way down here and towards Ethiopia, taking big chunks of Somalia while being at it, and actually going all the way down. That's actually quite aggressive, to say the least. Managed to go all the way down towards the coast, getting a lot of territory, a lot of gold income, potentially. And that's plus 8.5, but that is with max army, so you can pretty much crank that up. The potential is definitely there. But there you go. That's the introduction of all our players on this one. Let's go with the patch notes, shall we? So, actually I have a fairly small list this week, but it's very, very interesting, the stuff that's been added. It's not actually small stuff where you would say, you know, there's small things going on in the world, like small changes in language files or something like that. No, these are actual features that have been added, and during this particular session, we will be going over those. And here's a quick teaser. Decision: Netherlands nation now gives away certain provinces if playing as Burgundy. And actually, let's go and take a look at that right now, shall we? When Burgundy forms the Netherlands, or at least has the option to form the Netherlands, they have to give away a certain amount of provinces to France, right? Well, what the Dutch player in this case has done, our QA head, he has turned Lorraine into a vassal of himself, and pretty much that completely negates a system where all those territories would go towards France. However, because the decision has now been changed, all the vassal territories will automatically be added to France rather than to the Netherlands. So that's a thing of the past. You're now no longer able to grow ridiculously large Netherlands very, very easily. That has now been changed. One would actually say a little bit nerfed. And like we said at the beginning of the session, players are allowed to use one little tricksy thing in the book, and then it gets pretty much nerfed into the ground. So if you want to send some hate mail over it, then yeah, that be to Karsten right here. Anyway, like I mentioned before, anything in this particular session is in beta. This may not be final. This may not actually make it to the final patch or expansion for Wealth of Nation in Hearts Iron 4. Hearts Iron 4? No, Europa Universalis 4. Hearts Iron 4 is not doing anything with that yet. Maybe in the future. Who knows? But Lorraine, so far, is in the process of being integrated, one would hope. There's no annexation going on just yet, but he does have this this vassal down here. So let's see whether or not... Yeah, he's got a couple of vassals down here, actually. So, I need some water there. So that's one of the new changes here in this particular beta. And once again, guys, don't get mad, don't get upset. Some of this stuff may actually never make it to the version that you guys will get your hands on somewhere down the line. We don't know when that is yet. So yeah, you may want to keep your eyes on that, or check in next session to see what we've actually changed within the grand scheme of things. Spain is currently at war with Segu in Mali, so that's somewhere down here in the African continent. Servancourt is at war with the Southeast Asian nations, trying to move in, manage to take your horror. And this is something you want to watch out for. You want to take this this fleet into the strait, so in case the enemy does manage to come in, you were able to actually block them off. And so far, it does look like Brunei has bitten off a little bit more than they can chew. So basically, this army can no longer move in. That really helps when there's this giant army up here, even though they are, of course, Asian technology. It's not really going to be so helpful within the grand scheme of things. So, what else do we have? Mr. Nibbles here with Mughals actually going into Gurjat, which is, I think, a OPM. Yes, it is. And actually gone to war with the green one. Very interesting. Is that because of auto war? Yes, it is. But it's versus the AI. He's not allowed to actually take anything of that territory. So that is not something we're going to have to worry about all that much in this particular session. To be honest, at least a player who normally comes out, he's already been saying, you know what? Whoever's playing as that, they're going to lose all their territory next session. But until we can get there, I'm just going to play around a little bit and see where we can expand and all that. So there's a lot of opportunities there. And in addition, right now he's trying to build all the things here on the map. So we got all of these temples being slapped down as we speak, just to get that revolt risk down ever so slightly. So people in the chat are asking for who is part of the HRE. Well, this is the entire HRE. It's Netherlands has joined. Lorraine has partially joined. Ooh. Savoy is joined. Aragon is joined. Austria is the Emperor. And all the electors are here as well. So it's some pretty powerful electorates, actually. So people really are going to need to watch out for some of these electors and how powerful they are within the grand scheme of things. Russia is at war, I'm going to guess, with Lithuania. All right, so Lithuania has, considering they decided to be a nation amongst themselves, doesn't have any allies, doesn't have anybody to do anything, and Russia has actually gone with a coalition with Sweden. Sweden potentially looking to take a bit more territory here together with Denmark, and Lithuania not looking too good at all within in this particular game, being crushed all over the place. And this massive stack from Russia is starting to move in. Russia is going to need to watch out, though. They do have an additional 533 manpower a month coming in. Lithuania is trying to consolidate his troops. He's got a lot of stuff to do. The real question is, this stack is mostly mercenary. That's very, very dangerous, to say the least. And his money situation is minus 12 a month. He can only hold this up for maybe another 10 months. So he needs to move this army in now. And let's see, what is his leader at? It's a 133. That's not going to be enough. And this territory right here, it is in the middle of the winter. We are getting into March right now. So by the time those troops come in, this may actually not be all that impressive. And he's actually splitting up his troops. This is going to be pretty painful. The Russian stack is moving in. Let's quickly pop over towards the Russian side, see what they have. Their king is a 142. Or actually, their heir, who is currently on the front lines with 44,000 troops. Is he going to consolidate all of his assets and move into Minsk? That is the real question. To Swedes on standby, and Sweden is not a country you want to mess around with. They have managed to become Protestant. I'm going to keep our eye on that. As the stack, it does have a 5-2-2 on there, and there we go. Here's the fight that we've been waiting for. Let's quickly switch over towards the Lithuanian side. Yeah, this wasn't going to happen anytime soon, as the Russians are way, way, way too strong. Lithuania may as well go home and see what sort of demands the Russians and the Swedes have, because there's no way in hell they're going to take any of these they're going to be able to hold any of these territories. Not with 25,000 troops versus, well, we can quickly look over. Oh, Poland has joined in now as well. Poland has noticed that there's a small war going on and decided to jump in on top of this, and it's going for a full-on trade war, actually. So one of the things that we added to the game in this particular beta, we've actually should I show you guys? Yeah, let's show you guys. So what we can do, if you go to covert actions, you can transfer trade power if you want to. However, you can justify a trade war. So basically what you can do is, if you have if an enemy has 20% of a trade node available, now what they can do is you can go and see if you can get a trade war going. It's one of the new covert options, and it's a part of the new expansion as well. So there's a bunch of things there that you want to keep your eye on. It's not complete yet. Only the basic functionality is in place when it comes to some of this trade stuff. I'm not going to go too deeply into it in this particular session, because a lot of the stuff has been added to the back end, and there's really no UI for it yet. But there is stuff definitely going on. So where are we at here in this war? Well, Lithuania is pretty much on the receiving end of a pouting, let's put it that way, with troops pretty much everywhere. And they can't really do all that much. They've got 5,000 troops. Their armies have pretty much been shattered. This is not going to end very, very well. Let's see what the Russians actually want. They want Smolensk. So they've decided that Smolensk and Polotsk and Venden are territories that they will need. And Poland, in the meantime, has decided, you know what, I want some of that delicious trade in the sea as well. And maybe I can get some territory out of that as well. Do they have any they don't have any claims on any territories. But Lithuania has put their lot into the hat, and nobody really drew it. And they're turning it from a central power into, well, a isolated nation that can't really go anywhere. They could have maybe aligned with Crimea, maybe with the Ottomans or something along those lines, but Russia and Sweden have decided that Lithuania needs to be carved up, and that is exactly what we're seeing right now, and it's not looking very good. And what kind of ideas did Lithuania actually go for? Trade, aristocracy, and economic ideas. Like we mentioned last session, is that there's a couple of ideas that actually have been changed around. Like see, benign diplomats here has replaced revolution and counter-revolution in this current beta build of the game. So, I was drinking a cup of coffee there. Sometimes you need these things. Lithuania, in the meantime, has decided to pretty much give up. We're just waiting. Oh, no. Crimea has joined in now as well. It's a feast of crows. So Crimea has decided, you know what, I want some of that Lithuanian action as well. As Lithuania is now on the receiving end of all of these nations. This is going to be exceptionally painful for them because they're going to lose all of this territory up here, possibly this territory, and this territory as well. So, yeah. Lithuania not looking very good at all in this particular session so far. And in all honesty, it's not really a big war within the grand scheme of things. It's pretty much Lithuania saying, yeah, well, please take what you can, because there's no way in hell I can defend myself. And I'm sure strong words will be uttered by Lithuania right now. So, yeah. In the meantime, the center of Europe is calm as you can get, as Bohemia is in the middle of consolidating their final assets, trying to convert some culture here, trying to go for some diplomatic relationship. Not really, actually. There's nobody available. Let's see. Brandenburg has 3 diplomats as well. Did they go diplomatic ideas? No, they did not. Did they get an extra diplomat? I'm being a dumbass, am I? Sometimes it's difficult because they're keeping track of. Oh, they probably built a. Let me see here. Did they build? Yeah, they build a. They build an embassy somewhere, so they can actually get an additional diplomat out of that one. So there you go. Brandenburg having an additional diplomat, mainly because of the embassy they build in. But in the meantime, the Netherlands is actually pretty gargantuan. They're in the process of getting all of these territories. They're actually in the middle of trying to add this particular territory to themselves. It's Lorraine, actually, and let's quickly go over. So all of this is being added by the Netherlands to their territories. They're pretty much consolidating as much as they can. Quickly gonna go over. I got a message on Skype. Yeah, not so much interesting stuff on that particular front. And like I said before, we may actually have a couple of our developers popping in towards the studio at some point in time in this particular session to see what is going on and whether or not we can, show some of, talk about some of the decisions they have made so far. In the meantime, though, let's go and have a look here at some of the patch notes that we have, because the wars in general are not really all that interesting. Like I said, Lithuania here is in the receiving end of some horrible, horrible war. As you can see, it's pretty much everybody versus Lithuania right now. They are surrounded by troops, and they are minus 99 prestige. They still got some pretty high stability, but we'll see how long that lasts. But let's take a look here at what we have. Fixed event 874. Tensions between nobles and clergy having broken options. Well, Isn't that a great little patch note right there? Of course, I'm kind of yanking your chain because there is actually some pretty decent features that have been added. And as soon as this war ends, I'm actually going to go and cover that. So basically, the question is, how long will this session last? 2 hours we'll be playing in total. We've been playing for about 30 minutes now, so about 90 minutes of content will be coming up, which is about 30 years. We started in 1534, I think. So we have already passed 10 years so far. It's a lot of time to cover, and it's about 30 years they managed to cover in these sessions. As Lorraine, ooh, a peace offer from Poland. Poland's at war with... Interesting. All right, Poland has decided that they want some of this territory. What do they want? They want, yeah, they want 4 territories from Lithuania. I doubt Lithuania is going to go ahead with that, and they've got massive war exhaustion. I don't see them coming out of this in any shape or form. Yeah, three wars going on right now. Well, like I said, we will be covering some of the patch notes of the current beta. But again, as always, none of this is final. Some of this may actually not make it to the final builds, to either the patch or the expansion. Who knows what will happen? We're throwing stuff at the wall pretty much constantly and see what sticks and what works within the grand scheme of things. If you want to go out there and tell your friends, you know what, I'm gonna go and tell them that you want to watch this. So this company has gone out and giving us content that is fairly unique, which is pretty much the case. Oh my God, Poland got a massive chunk there. Even took Kiev of all things. So it's only, don't worry guys, it's only a question of time until uprising starts in Kiev, because current affairs and all that. However, yeah, be sure to follow the channel as well and make sure that as much love goes out. And if you missed any of these streams before, we have them all up on YouTube as well. I think that we launched the final one today about an hour ago for your entertainment. We're actually playing with 30 players. So that's quite a lot of people that we're playing with so far. And we're pretty much covering all of them on the map now, as Poland is aware of pretty much everything that is in the world, which is quite a lot of territory to cover. But except for Japan, as they are down here. And they've actually got themselves already a small Japan empire, including here in Taiwan, as well as the Philippines. Taiwan is actually going to be a very interesting thing maybe in the near future, but we're going to have to talk about that some other time.